Yo, so in this video, I'm doing this completely freestyle, but in this video, what I'm going to show you, if you're a filmmaker, videographer, director, business, I'm going to show you how to start unleashing remarkable case studies so that you can get known, liked, and trusted. It will drive sales. The ultimate goal for this particular video is, in this video, I'm going to show you how to create compelling case studies that you can start implementing right now. So you can start doing this as of today. This will drive desire, and desire is how we get clients chasing us versus them chasing us. You see, media is a very big leverage puller. It's a puller that once you do it correctly, you can hit a lot of people while you're sleeping. And if we create content that is very much around case studies and examples and giving and offering up insights to working with you as a production company, it can create desire while you're asleep. So the leverage pull is big. It creates leads and conversions because it's showing the client that you are who you say you are. I recommend doing this weekly on YouTube and sending it out as an email. This should dramatically help build inquiry, leads, sales, conversions. If you've got people on the fence, this can be a phenomenal way to close someone down. So that's the goal of this video, and I'm going to show you how I would do it if I was running my agency today. Okay, so the first thing that I would do is I would create a Loom video like this, and I would say I just got off a project, literally finished a project, and we've got some tremendous amounts of results I want to share with you. I want to show you what we did, why we did it, what the client's problem was, and most of all, how we solved that problem. Okay, so if we go to, say, one of my websites, I would go to this particular case study. So you want to pick someone that is either well-known, or you want to, it doesn't have to be well-known. It can be just something you're quite proud of. And then what I would start to do is to say, today we're going to talk about the Rags to Riches project that I've just released. The outcome of this is we humanized an entrepreneur that was sort of north of $50 million. To his market, he was feeling a bit of a disconnect due to the fact that he was looking too superhuman, and we needed to humanize him so that people felt that he had a backstory, so people could see themselves in the story more, to build not only the emotional connection but the trust and his perceived value for the offer that he had. He's a property developer. He's dealing with large amounts of property. He is doing a lot of what we would call superhuman type activities in his business day to day. He owns a helicopter. He's got multiple cars, Ferraris, Lamborghinis, and the disconnect for him is that people just think he's too far demigod-like. And so we came through and we recognized this problem, and this is how I would tell my case study. First, I'm talking about he needed humanizing. We've successfully done that. You would also talk about the front end, that the success of the campaign generated millions of dollars worth of leads and helped fill a room, which he went on then to sort of 50-60% increase in conversions and had a tremendous campaign. That was the success of this. The problem he had, and then you would say, depending on what your client's problem was, mine was that this guy just needed humanizing. He was very successful to the point where it was putting people off. When people are too successful, they can't see themselves in the narrative. If they can't see themselves in the narrative, why would they do business with someone? Because they think he's got some kind of special power. So I created this video, which I'll play a little bit of it for you. Don't know how the audio is going to come through.
The point at which I recognised it was important was the day that I almost went bankrupt. That's when the sword went straight through my heart. I realised this is critical, and to get out of this mess, I think that's when it all started to gel. The rubber had to meet the road. It had to change, and I had to get good at it. There was so many arguments and so much friction in the family home when I was a kid. It all related to money. That money was that point of friction in the home, and it was up to me to change it. That really set in motion a bit of wildfire for me. I began to understand the word how. There was too many people saying no. Over the years, I think in my own mind, I've just relegated the fact that you've got to keep asking.
So I don't know how the audio can, but I would play that video all the way through, and then I would explain to them, look, this was a brand story that I created on a guy, and what we did is we ran a lot of traffic to that to relaunch his personal brand. And by us doing that, what that allowed him to do was to reconnect and reaffirm the know, like, and trust aspect of his business. Now, just coming back to the document, basically what I like about this particular thing is it is so easy for you to create 4 or 5 of these from some of your best clients. Basically working out like through a Loom video, keeping it super simple, just make sure your audio is a little bit better than the way I did it. And if I was to do it, I would take time to understand that. I would have a document like this that I would be working from, so I'm making sure that I hit the points. But the real formula for case studies is the number one thing you need to start off all videos, particularly on YouTube or anything, when you want to say, this was the result we got. And particularly if you're a specialist and you're in a niche, this is going to get their attention. We just humanized this brand, which resulted in X amount of revenue and lead generation and conversion, and has now become a sort of core story for this person that is allowing him to emotionally connect and take market share, right? Here's what we did. Here was what the biggest problem was, and here's how we solved it. And then what we do is we're reviewing our own work. And this video doesn't have to go for hours on end. It can be just the simple breakdown. And the specific formula that I like to use is, what was the outcome, the first thing, because we need to hook the person. Like the very first thing that I said to you as a filmmaker was, unleash remarkable case studies. In this video, I'm going to share with you compelling case studies formulas, which really should show you how to create compelling case studies that you can start implementing right now and drive sales, leads, and conversion. I recommend you doing this weekly on YouTube because it's going to get you success. So that was the outcome, right? So you're kind of hooked. You're like, okay, I'm going to keep listening to this. Then I showed you how I would do it, which is a simple Loom video over a very good story that you've created, talking about, I would say the very first thing you need to bring up is the problem that they had, right? Which in Mark's case, in particularly the Rags to Riches project that we did, was that he was too much of a superhuman, and people wasn't seeing themselves in his story. He came from a very hard upbringing. He had a lot of trauma around money. His parents fought about it, and there was a lot of others to the story that didn't make the cut, but he was very, very much a workaholic. He worked extremely hard. He had a very big, bright North Star, and it wasn't superpower. It was hard work, dedication, and commitment to just solving the money problem, and that's what led him to go on to be a property developer. Now, he was having trouble articulating that because the current content program or plan that he was on, in terms of the agency that was looking after him, was telling him to just show success, and there was too much of that success that he looked too much of a rainbow that people couldn't connect. That's the problem. The solution is that we came through and we had a formula that is renowned from my agency, which would be your unique mechanism. So I hope you're following me now. You would demonstrate your unique mechanism as the solution that we brought to the table, and then we implemented it through conceptualization by telling the backstory of why he did what he did, what he was fighting to do, and how the story unfolded for him to become who he is. Now he has an asset. Now he has a sales asset, and the result of it is that he can use that in his sales process. Okay, and breaking that down for your clients on a week-to-week basis can do a lot of things for you in terms of being known, liked, and trusted. And if you send that out, and I recommend you do this like weekly, particularly if you're a sort of high volume agency, breaking down different concepts, how you've helped certain people in different industries is going to really help you with your conversion and help you with your likability and people watching you. One thing I will say to you before I close this video off, and I'll put this up on YouTube. And again, I didn't really plan this video. I just had an idea and I wanted to share, how can you as a filmmaker start sharing your work more and breaking it down A couple of tools like Loom is really good. Just making sure that you have a Google Doc with, again, the outcome would be the first section. So if I was to do Mark's stuff, like I'll do it quickly for you. This is how I would do it. I would basically say, before I hit record, or you can do it super. And the good thing about like doing it this way is it feels very raw. Like I prefer to do it this way. Like sometimes having a perfectly lit studio and a perfectly lit like podcast can actually look a little bit too enhanced, where when you do these Loom videos and then you show off the work, because the work itself will speak that you understand lighting and everything in between. Like you've seen the video I did, it was very good. It was all shot on a Komodo red and a Raven and a Canon Mark II, Canon, was it Canon D? Yeah, I think, yeah. And it was all shot on prime lenses, so it was good. L series Canon 51.2 is my favorite lens. Just thought I'd just add that in there. So this is how I would do it if I was doing him. Like literally, this is what I would do. I'd first write the word outcome, and I would say something like, in this video, I'm gonna break down how we helped generate millions of dollars with the Rags to Riches project by humanizing our client. Something like that. Just something simple. My spelling's terrible. I need to don't even start with that. Like, for those of you that are commenting on my spelling, you're watching me too hard. So that would be the outcome, and I would talk a lot about that. I would just put one line in that. Then the second thing I would be like, okay, the problem that he had, let me explain what the problem was and why he came. He was too Batman / Superman. And I would explain that concept. And I would talk about that he wasn't connecting. He was too successful. He wasn't feeling relatable in any way, shape, or form. When you have like a Rolls Royce, a Lamborghini, a Ferrari, you're on a helicopter, you have multiple, you have 2 or 3 mansions, you're constantly away on skiing trips, you're doing like, it just doesn't feel like it's a dream life. Like it's too rainbow. Like, and if that's all you're putting out in the world and just showing that consistently, people are connecting to it. So that was the problem. The solution, and this is solution awareness. So if you want to know what the actual formula is it's problem awareness, solution awareness, but I'll just say solution. Solution for this particular one was to humanize, to tell his why, fight, and contribution story, to be used as the main sales asset to book sales calls. The implementation side of it, or you can change that language, and I would change that language to the creative process. And then what you would do is you could break down in pre-production. We did research on his backstory by speaking to friends and family. You can go as far as saying that we also interviewed over the phone past success stories for his impact. Okay. I also had a deep and meaningful conversation because this particular client isn't someone that just opens up to everyone. You have to put the work in as a director. And this is what makes the offer special, right? I'm talking creative now, but with his pre-production, I had to go to multiple dinners with him and build some trust with him and actually make him open up, because he was iron wall. And, everybody's out to get to be around people like that, because they want something. I to demonstrate that I don't want anything from you. I just want you to pay for my services, and that's it. But we're going to form a friendship whether you like it or not. And doing that in that pre-production, I would explain that in this particular creative process of how did I get comfortable with him for him to open up. And then I got him to open up about his why. And he talked about his family and about all the pain he went through. And there was many arguments around money. And that he just didn't want to live like that. He didn't want to give to his family like that. He wanted to be the new generation of bloodline that was going to solve the money problem. And that was really his driver. That was his big driver. And then he got some success. He had some failures. He lost a lot of money. He took a lot of Mark is the Rags to Riches particular project, because I went on and did other work with him. He took a tremendous amount of risk, and I would explain that in the case study. I would explain it all, and then you could wrap it up with just a call to action. A call to action would be if you want to see, you'd have it written out. You would say something in the video. Look, if you want to see more of these case studies, or you want to talk to us about how can we help humanize your brand, or how we can help with the conversion mechanisms in your business, or build more trust, be more known in the industry, or use or build more sales assets, then contact us. And then what I would do is I would finish the video, and then I would send that out. I'll put it up on YouTube, and I would send that out as an email. So I hope this helped. This is how you can create remarkable case studies, by just breaking down your own work, your own sort of problem. And don't script this thing too much. Allow yourself to just make mistakes. I'm on YouTube right now. I'm not trying to make this perfect. I'm not trying to make this. Don't let that be the holding you back, because you send this video out. It is the ultimate leverage puller. There's only 4 leverages in this world. There's people, which is the worst because you're waiting for something outside yourself. Money, which is also quite tricky. Then there is technology, and which is things like AI and then systems and then things. And then the last one is media, right? Media is a massive leverage puller. By creating remarkable case studies, by just talking about your work, putting stuff out there, breaking down your videos, breaking down why you made them. I don't even care if it's a passion project. Breaking it down and then sending it out to clients, to people that potentially could purchase your stuff, is putting you at top of mind. It's showing passion. It's showing that you're being known, liked, and trusted. So take this formula, and quick recap before I go, because I feel like I want to really give you value. So to keep it simple, you pick a video, and then what you do is you say, result. This was the result. I don't care if it was an emotional connection, if it was a revenue. We're looking for revenue results. If you haven't got that, go to time. If you haven't got that, go to how it's freed up space for the brand. If you haven't got that, go to how it is helping improve the environment, or the feeling, or it's bringing awareness, or it's building trust. You need to have a result, right? And the closer you can get to money, the more you're going to get premium clients sniffing around. So result. So what was the result? Try and lead everything to money, okay? The second thing you need to do is the problem. Is talk about the problem before the client can. The third part of the solution is the actual solution. And then the fourth part is the creative process to making it from ideation, conceptualization, to the finished final product, and then what you did after the fact once it was made. And then you want to talk about CTA, call to action. If you need this, hit us up here, and here. End of video. Once a week on YouTube. It will help you. It will start to build an incredible, and I call this invisible trust, because high quality buyers are genuinely silent, but they're watching you. I hope this helped.